Mark 29, and we, like always, normally talk about world bizarre stories or world bizarre news, right? So maybe if you haven't joined us, you better join us. So we are going live. We are actually live, yeah. So today is on Monday afternoon. It's actually 4:18 p.m. yeah, and normally we talk about bizarre news. And I've done, actually, I was filming a certain there is a video I was working on. I've come from somewhere, so I'm done. I'm actually done with what I was filming. So now it's that time that we normally go live, right? So thank you very much for those who keep supporting us, for those who keep like engaging us. We really appreciate very, very much. So one-on-one, and we actually, before we begin our bizarre news stories, the video that we were working on, it's about how to gain confidence when you're up, or you want to film, or you want to shoot a YouTube video. Yeah, how to gain confidence. Like, you know, so there is a time you find whereby people or somebody wants to create content, and he or she is very afraid, like, how will I start? If you have a phone or if you have a camera, then it's very easy. Just start. Don't wait to get to someone and then you hide from people and then you want to shoot. And when you get to where people are, you freeze, like you do not want to shoot. So do not do that. All right. So welcome to our world bizarre news stories, or our world bizarre stories. Yeah, and today's stories are really shocking, right? Very, very shocking. And we are beginning with a very a story known as the, normally I usually read the heading and then I give you the story. The heading is the Goldilocks murder. Now today we are talking about some murder stories which are really, like, maybe if you listen to them, they're really traumatizing. Yeah, the Goldilocks murder, it happened in Japan the year 2000. It says a family in Tokyo was murdered, and the assailants spent hours in their home afterwards, using their computer and napping before disappearing, leaving DNA but no identity. It's like this person was like a ghost, yeah, because the DNA was there. Like, there is proof somebody came in, murdered these people. There is proof that somebody came in and murdered these people, but this guy had no identity. Like, they tried to look for him, or maybe her, everywhere. There was no identity. Yeah, so that somebody known as Raja Kados, hi, hello to Raja. Kindly subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. I'll appreciate you subscribing. So this is the first story. I repeat, the Goldilocks murder, Japan, the year 2000. A family in Tokyo was murdered, and the assailants spent hours in their home afterward, using their computer and napping before disappearing, leaving DNA but no identity. Now, I believe the reason as to why these people, Raja, like Dan, thank you very much, Raja. So Raja, if you don't mind, where do you come from? Kindly tell us where you come from. So the reason as to why this the investigations say that this guy, I'm from, Raja is asking where I'm coming from. Raja, I'm coming from Kenya. Kenya is in East Africa. So the reason as to why these people found the DNA of this guy or this lady, we do not really know if it was a guy who murdered them or it was a lady. The reason as to why they believe the reason as to why they found the DNA is this person spent the night, like, he killed them, slept there, used their computer, and then the guy disappeared, leaving no traces. Like, there is evidence, there is DNA that somebody was here, but this guy is nowhere to be found. And remember, this Tokyo or Japan, their technology is really ahead. Like, you cannot Raja is saying he's coming from Pakistan, from Saudi Arabia. Maybe you mean you live in Saudi Arabia. All right, Raja, thank you very much. So what I was saying is, this story, it's really shocking. Like, the Goldilocks murder, Japan 2000. A family in Tokyo, Japan was murdered, and their assailant spent hours in their home afterwards, using their computer and napping before disappearing, leaving no identity. That is what we were talking about. So this is really shocking. Up to today, they've never found this person who did this murder. Up to today, yeah, the investigations is still on. Remember, since the year 2000, we are in the year 2026. How many years are those? Those are very many years. Somebody known as Vansh Gangwa said hello Vance. Raja is saying he has YouTube channel. Okay, Raja, if you do have a YouTube channel and maybe you want me to subscribe back, you'll subscribe, and then I'll get where your channel is, and then I'll subscribe back. Also, to everybody, if you have a YouTube channel, maybe you're beginning one right now, like I, Mark or Mark29, you just subscribe to mine and I'll return the favor. I'll subscribe back. That is a promise. Moving on to the second story. Yeah, this is also bizarre. Also, it opened in, okay, let me read it for you. Mike Otuelo Fiti, hello too. On to the second story. The Iceland woman. It happened in Norway, the year 1970. Listen to this. The Iceland woman, Norway, 1970. The burned body of a woman was found in a remote valley with clothing labels removed and coded messages among her belongings. Her identity and cause of death remain unknown. Let me repeat that. The Iceland woman. This happened in Norway, the year 1970. The burned body of a woman was found in a remote valley with clothing labels removed and coded messages among her belongings. Her identity and cause of death remain unknown till today. Remember, this was the year 1970. It was a long time ago. Thank you, Raja. Raja is telling me he has subscribed. Thank you. Mike, hello, how are you? I'm fine, Mike. Thank you for asking. So, this is a woman's body who has been found, and then she was burned. The labels on her clothes were removed, and then nobody knows her identity, even after trying to take DNA samples and trying to find who she was. She was nowhere in the system, nowhere. This happened in Norway, the year 1970. And also, what caused her death is still unknown. Moving on, that is the second story. On to the third story. The Hinterkaifeck murders. That is the third story. The Hinterkaifeck murders. This happened in Germany, the year 1922. You can imagine that. The Hinterkaifeck murders, Germany, 1922. Listen to this. 6 people were brutally murdered on a remote farm. Days before, strange footprints appeared leading into the farm, but no away. Yeah, footprints were seen going into the farm, but no footprints were seen coming out. Somebody went in, murdered 6 people. There is evidence that he or she was seen walking into that farm, but there is no evidence that he or she came out. So that's suggesting that the killer may have stayed in the house. So the killers murdered 6 people. This is Germany, 1922. A guy comes in, murders 6 people, and then there is evidence, there is footprints into the house, and then this guy never came out. Like, they disappeared. He disappeared. Yeah, that same story also, it's being investigated. You see, the stories that I'm giving you are stories that they've never really found the answers. Like, these murders remains unsolved till today. So that was our third story, which is saying the Hinterkaifeck murders, Germany, the year 1922. 6 people were brutally murdered in a remote farm. Full stop. Days before, strange footprints appeared leading to the farm. Oh, this is after the people were murdered. So, days before, strange footprints appeared leading into the farm, but no away, suggesting the killer may have stayed in the house. Wow. Okay, that was our third story. On to our fourth story. Remember, kindly, when you come across the channel, kindly support us by subscribing. We will appreciate very much. Thank you. On to the fourth story. It's known as the Somerton Man, or Tamam Shud. Somerton Man stroke Tamam Shud. This happened in Australia, the year 1948. So listen to this. An unidentified man was found dead on a beach with a paper containing the words Tamam Shud. He was identified as Carl Charles Webb. The name Charles is in quotes, Webb, in 2022, but the cause of his death is still debated. Let me repeat it. The Somerton Man stroke Tamam Shud, Australia, 1948. An unidentified man was found dead on a beach with a paper containing the words Tamam Shud. He was identified as Carl, in quotes, Charles Webb, in the year 2022, but the cause of death is still debated. They've never found what killed him. This happened in the year 1948 in Australia. Now listen here. This murder happened 1948. Those are very many years ago. And then this guy's identity, kindly, if you're watching, subscribe. Kindly. So this guy's identity was discovered in the year 2002. 2022. 2022. Yeah, 2022. Since 1948. Now the most scary thing is what caused this man's death has never been known. And also the word Tamam, maybe somebody might be asking, what is Tamam Shud, or what does Tamam Shud mean? This means ended or finished. Yeah, so the Somerton Man, Tamam Shud, or ended, finished, Australia, 1948. An unidentified man was found dead on a beach with a paper containing the words Tamam Shud, which means ended or finished. He was identified as Carl. The name Carl Charles Webb. Charles is in quotes. Yeah, and then Webb in 2022, but the cause of death is still debated. That was our fourth story. Moving on to our fifth story. Yeah, this disappearance of Las Mitank. This happened in Bulgaria, the year 2014. Listen. After a head injury, a young German man was seen on security footage fleeing an airport into a forest, leaving his luggage behind, and has not been seen since. Wow. the disappearance of Las Mitank, Bulgaria, 2014. After a head injury, this guy had been injured on the head. So after the head injury, that young man, he was a German. A young German man was seen on security footage fleeing an airport into a forest, leaving his luggage behind, and has not been seen since then. Yeah, this is like they've tried to locate him. Remember, he was injured, but ever since he was seen fleeing with a head injury, he's never been seen ever since. Yeah, this is really shocking. Like, I know, and 2014 is not a long time ago, but if your loved one was missing and then you hear he was injured or she was injured, you'll be really worried. Like, where did they go? You'll have so many questions, like, without answers. But we believe maybe someday the family will get the answers, and then they'll move on. Maybe they'll know if the loved one is still alive, or maybe he passed on. But maybe someday we pray that they get the answers. On to the sixth story. We are still talking about crime. Yeah, the soap murder of Correggio. This happened in Italy, 1930s. Some call it Italy, like some call it Italy. So there is some difference. Yeah. So this is the sixth story, which says the soap maker of Correggio, Italy, 1930s. This is very long time ago. It says Leonarda Cianciulli. Leonarda Cianciulli killed 3 women and turned them into soap and tea cakes for neighbors, believing it will protect her son. So this is a lady known as, in the year 1930s, known as Leonarda Cianciulli. She killed 3 people, and then she turned their bodies into tea cakes and soap, and then took those tea cakes and soaps and distributed them amongst the neighbors. Like, she killed 3 people in total. She took their bodies, turned them into tea cakes and soap, and then she went around her neighborhood. This is the year 1930. She went around her neighborhood distributing those tea cakes and soap. Why? Because she believed by doing so, by killing those people, those 3 people, and turning them into soap and tea cakes, and then using their bodies using those, distributing those tea cakes and soap, it will protect the son. I really have no idea where maybe she got this from, but that is what she believed in. Like, by doing so, the son would be protected. Okay, that is was our sixth story. Moving on to the seventh. So this is the seventh. Yeah, the fox-eyed man, Japan, 1984. The fox-eyed man, Japan, 1984. Listen to this. The monster with 21 faces group extorted food companies and threatened to poison candies. A suspect known as the fox-eyed man consistently evaded police. So I repeat that the fox-eyed man, Japan, 1984. The monster with 21 faces group. So this was a group, extorted food companies and threatened to poison candies. Yeah, the candies that were being sold by those food companies. A suspect known as the fox-eyed man consistently evaded police. You see, this is a guy who's leading a group which is known as 21. Monster with 21 faces. So this guy used to extort food companies. Like, for example, any food company that is maybe near you. You remember food companies deal with the food. So this guy leads his crew, they raid, they take everything, and maybe when you refuse to hand the foods, they threaten, like, if you do not hand us this food, then we will poison the candies. If you do not give us this food, we will poison. So like, you have no any other option. Remember, if your company sells candies, hello friend, I can see Paul, a friend from Nigeria. Paul, thank you. Thank you very much for the support. Paul is asking, poison what? Okay, Paul, this is what we were talking about. The Fox-Eyed Man, Japan, 1984. The Monster with 21 Faces group extorted food companies and threatened to poison candies. The suspect, known as the Fox-Eyed Man, consistently evaded police. The Fox-Eyed Man was leading the Monster with 21 Faces. Now this is a group, yeah. So this guy, Fox-Eyed Man, was their leader. So he used to take the group, go and extort, yeah, from food companies. And maybe whenever a food company said no, then this Fox-Eyed Man would threaten the company that if you do not give us this, then we will poison the candies. And remember, if your company sells food and then it happens that maybe children or people have taken that food and it maybe kills them, then you'll be in trouble with the government. You know, there is no way you can come and tell us this food was poisoned by so and so because we didn't comply to his demands or her demands. You know, there is no way out. Yeah, so you have to give this guy. And funny enough, this guy was never caught since the year 1984 till today. Maybe he might have passed on, but he was never caught. Like, he always evaded. Never. That is our was our 7th story. I think, Paul, you've got what I was talking about. And then we move on to the 8th story. Now we are done with we were talking about Paul. Paul is saying that's crazy. Yeah, really very crazy. So we are going to the 8th story. Remember, we only have 10 stories. Now we are remaining with 2 after this. The Tweed Jacket Gang. This was in Scotland, the year 2015. 2015 is actually was not very long ago. So it says the Tweed Jacket Gang, Scotland, 2015. A gang in Edinburgh was nicknamed after their old-fashioned attire. Yeah, so that gang, normally a gang is a group of people. Maybe they might be doing good or maybe bad. So depending on where maybe they come from. So there is a gang in Edinburgh which was nicknamed for their old-fashioned attire. Like, you put on clothes which are very old, yeah, and then you're given a name like the Tweed Jacket Gang. Yeah, that is the name they were given. So that is our 8th story. On to the 9th story. Yeah, okay. The Fried Egg Bandit, UK, 2015. Now listen to this. Vandalism involved someone breaking into homes and frying eggs. Yeah, that is the story. The Fried Egg Bandit, UK, 2015. That is the title. And then vandalism involved someone breaking into homes and frying eggs. You know, the funny thing is, if maybe you come to me, I as Mark 29, and then you tell me, you know, bro, I am hungry, I need food, I want to eat. If I have that food, or maybe I'll try at least to give you something to eat instead of breaking into my house and then cooking and then going away. So this reminds me of something that normally happens here in the village where I am. There is a group of young men who normally they have this tendency. I do not really understand if it's theft or maybe hunger. It's really hard to differentiate these two. If you are hungry and you have nowhere to go to eat from, then definitely you have no job, then definitely what will come into your mind is, I'll steal. Yeah. But not for all people, some. Yeah. You have no food, you're hungry, and then the thing that comes into some people, not all people, because at times also I get angry, I have no money, no food. So what will I do? I'll go out there, try to look for something to do, maybe work, then get paid, and then come buy food. But this one over here in the UK, the year 2015, this person or people used to go break into someone's house, and then you make eggs, just eggs. And remember, it's not one house, two houses, three houses, very many houses. They break in. If you have eggs, they make eggs, they eat, or maybe he eats or she eats, and then walks away. That is actually, if you are caught, you'll definitely go to jail for that. Breaking into someone's house is really forbidden. So what I was saying here is, here in the village is, there are people, I believe, the young men. So these men normally go from house to house at night, maybe 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. that is morning, or 3 a.m. in the morning. So they break into someone's house. I believe, people who steal, or someone who comes to break into your house, has the map of what is where and how I get in and out. So these people here, I'm talking about what happens here in the village. This story is, the story that I read was in the year 2015 in UK, but now I'm talking about here in the village. A gang comes, they time, like there is, maybe they know when someone is really asleep, like even if you shake the door, do what, they'll not hear. So these people come into your house, not into your house. Remember, here in the village, you have the main house and the house that kitchens are. The kitchen is normally outside the main house here in the village. So they come into the kitchen, and most people keep everything, food, maybe hens, goats, in the kitchen. So these guys here in the village, they come into your homestead, they break into your kitchen, small hut, they cook, they slaughter your hens, and then they walk away. Remember, when they are doing all this, you'll not hear anything, like there's no noise, you'll not hear. When we cook, we normally use the cooking pot with the 3 stones. I think you understand. Maybe some understand, like there are 3 stones, and then the pot is laid in between, and then you cook. So when you are cooking, there is noise that normally when you turn the ugali or cooking flour in the pot, there's noise that shakes the whenever the stone comes into contact with the cooking pot, there is noise that comes out. So when these people do this, maybe 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., like you hear nothing, you'll hear nothing. They cook, they slaughter your chicken, they eat, and they go with the rest. So that is what happens here in the village. Very bad. Yeah, that's bad. So I see we've taken like 20 minutes. Normally we end this live. We normally take 30 minutes, or 30 plus a few minutes on top. So on to our last story, the 10th story, stealing a penguin. That is the title. This happened in Australia, the year 2012. Now listen to this. Drunk tourists stole a penguin from SeaWorld, kept it in their apartment, and released it into a canal. Why? Why would somebody do that? Like, stealing a penguin, Australia 2012. A drunk tourist stole a penguin from SeaWorld, kept it in their apartment, and released it into a canal. So maybe somebody might be asking, I can see somebody there saying medicals, 3D medical. You're saying hello to 3D medical. I hope you're doing great. Kindly subscribe, kindly. So the 10th story and the last story, stealing a penguin. Australia 2012. Drunk tourists stole a penguin from SeaWorld, kept it in their apartment and released it into a canal. Maybe somebody might thank you medical, thank you 3D medical. And then somebody might be asking him or herself, what is a canal? A canal is an artificial waterway constructed to allow the passage of boats or ships inland to convey water for irrigation. Conveys to transport. So somebody steals a penguin which is very, like, what can I say, sinless. A penguin that has no sins, has not committed any crime to anybody. Like, yeah. So you steal the penguin, you keep it in your house, and then you release the penguin into a canal. That is not great. Maybe you could have returned it back, or maybe taken it back and left it somewhere so to find its way into SeaWorld. So friend, I see it's 30 minutes past the time we began, so we've spent 30 minutes, which is really amazing. We normally do this every day. Yeah, we talk about bizarre stories, we talk about murder stories that have never been resolved, and many things. Maybe if you are joining the live right now, this video will be on YouTube tomorrow. And the reason as to why it will be on YouTube tomorrow, remember I told you we normally give YouTube time to at least go through the video. If maybe there is a mistake I made somewhere, we remove it, then we upload it. So for now, if you've not watched this, no worries, do not worry, this will be up on YouTube come tomorrow. So, and also there is a video that I was working on a few minutes ago. I'm compiling it, and then it will also be up on YouTube tomorrow. So kindly ask your friend or your friends or your family to support me. By saying support me, I mean subscribe to our channel, right? So thank you very much, and to wish you a great morning if you're waking up, a great evening, or a great afternoon or a great evening. And maybe if you're going to sleep, it's a good night from me to you. Have a great one. See you tomorrow on our next live. My name is Eno_Mark 29. It's a bye for now.